Okay, let's do this one. Marines. New Marines. Yeah, so we're opening with some Phobos stuff. I've gone through the trailer in slow-mo. And had a look at everything. And tried to find everything that was interesting about the new Marines, about what might be happening with the new Marine stuff. And so it starts off, obviously, if you haven't seen the trailer, go watch it because it's awesome. But it starts off with Phobos. He's got double combat blades, which I overlooked. Like, yeah, okay. But then Games Workshop made a point of pointing it out. It's like, okay, so maybe we might actually get some sort of combat-y Phobos. I don't know, but yeah, they pointed out. They made a particular point of saying that the first kill went to a Phobos who has 2 combat knives. I'm like, okay, and so then after that, the Marines are moving out towards some more of the Tyranid infestation, and you get this really cool shot of combi flamers. Well, actually, these ones are actually. Oh no, I've only just noticed these ones are actually just flamers. So one of the things that I don't like about Primaris, and I love Primaris. I think they look great. They look far better than the old squat Firstborn Marines. So I'm all for the Primaris stuff. They're easy to paint. They've got more room on there to do kind of damage or freehand or some kind of texture or whatever. Or if you just want to paint them very, very simply, you can do that. I really like that. The one thing I don't like is that the weapon loadouts are so restrictive. So, for instance, if you want to have a plasma gun, then you have to have a unit of plasma guns. So the Hellblasters. If you want to have melter guns, you have to have a unit of Eradicators. You can't have, like the tactical squads of old, you can't have a unit of Intercessors with a special weapon and or a heavy weapon in there. It doesn't work like that, which I think is a bit of a shame. But I don't know what this means. This... now, having just said that, and realising that these are just flamers, there's 3 flamers here. So you've got a unit of 3 flamers. Now, are they going to do the same thing again and say, oh, I'm sorry, you can have flamers on your Intercessors, but you have to have a unit of them. So that just then, I don't know, it seems to pigeonhole all the choices. So if you definitely need melter guns, then you definitely have to take melter guns, but you can't take one melter gun for the tank that you need to kill. You can't take one flamer, a missile launcher, the new Desolation squads, which you have to oddly pick between frag and crack. Anyway, that's beside the point. But you can't kind of mix and match within a unit. And I think that's a bit of a shame. Now, these are flamers, so clearly we're going to get Intercessor flamers. But are we going to have a unit of Intercessor flamers, or are we going to be able to add that flamer into an Intercessor squad? Because I can imagine a special weapon Intercessor squad upgrade sprue that you can just buy, and then you can put special weapons into your Intercessor squads. That would be amazing. But having said that, there are 3 flamers here, so maybe the flamers which are going to come out, and if they do it the same as the melters and the heavy bolters, the heavy bolt cannon, whatever they're called, if they do it the same as that, so maybe you'll have like a flamer and then a heavy flamer and then a mega flamer. So the 3 options, and you can equip 3 Marines for a unit of 3. Anyway, that's the first interesting scene from the trailer, and then we get this scene. Now, I'm not great on my insignia and stuff, although you can see that this is a Phobos Marine because he's got that cutout up there of the shoulder pad. But this guy has a combi flamer. This guy has a combi melter, or just a melter. That's just a melter. I don't think it's a gun underneath. So that's just a melter. He has, if you notice, he's got the red helmet. He's got a little red woolen hat which he pulls on his helmet. So he's got a red hat. So that's a sergeant. So the sergeant has a melter gun. So these are all Phobos Marines. And then this guy at the front, I think the guy at the front had a combi flamer as well. either way, that's really interesting. So we've never seen a melter gun of that kind of sort. We've obviously had the Eradicators, but we've never had a melter gun, and we've never had a melter gun on a Phobos squad. So infiltratey Phobos squad would be great to have flamers. Combi flamers would be even better. So being able to mix and match flamers, being able to mix and match weapons in a Phobos squad, which is infiltrating, a little bit more stealthy, able to deploy, at least in 9th edition and 8th edition, we don't know what's going to happen in 10th, being able to deploy slightly further forward or in hiding away from your deployment zone, being able to be very tactical and mix and match and have weapons in there, because I love playing toolbox armies. So that's like an army that has a little bit of everything, so that you have the ability to be able to react to anything that's going on. So you have the melter gun if you have to be able to if you want to take out something with armor, and you have the flamer if you need to clear some screens. But yeah, we've got some combi weapons and a melter gun on a sergeant on a Phobos unit. I'm so excited for 10th edition. I'm so excited for 10th edition. Now we're going back to this guy. So he's got dual paired combat blades. They made a point of telling us this. They showed it. I think this is a sergeant as well. I don't know what he's got on his. I don't know what he has on his. I think that looks like a Roman frill, the Roman frill that you get on some things. So maybe because this is an ultramarine and they're slightly more Roman-esque, maybe that's a bit of a frill on the shoulder pad, a bit of decoration. But yeah, all the way down here, what's on his arm? Looks like he's got a. I haven't noticed that. See, this is another cool thing about doing the videos. I hadn't noticed that. What is that? It looks like he's got a. It looks like he's got. Well, I'm not gonna. It looks like he's got a bit of wood, carved wood on his forearm. Interesting. A couple of grenades. I don't think there's anything else in there, but he's definitely got two knives. Yeah, there's another dead Hormigant. I think that's a Hormigant. I have done another video on this with the Terminators, with the Tyrannid side as well. So spotting all the Tyranids, and I've just spotted that in the background as well. Now I'm guessing that's a flamer. I'm guessing that's just as he hits the flamer up. So that's the you can see the flamer top and then the lighting ignition bit at the bottom. So that's the ignition and then the flame coming out. So that's the flamer marine in the background. And there he is, in fact. So this is just the flamer. I think we've seen this already with the Black Templars. I think the Black Templars had a really cool chained flamer, which was very, very funky. Now this one has a handle on the top, so I'm guessing this might be a slightly larger flamer. So if you think of flamer, heavy flamer, and then something even bigger than that, I'm only doing the 3 styles because that's the way the Eradicators have worked. I think the Eradicators had 3 different weapon profiles. The Heavy Bolters certainly had 3 different weapon profiles, as did the Desolation Squads. But the Desolation Squads and yeah, so the Devastator Squads for Primaris, when you're using the heavier weapon, the Sergeant can sometimes have like an even heavier weapon or an even more interesting weapon. Anyway, so I think this might be the slightly larger version. Maybe not. It doesn't look particularly large, but then we don't know with the missiles. Maybe we're going to have something that's so big the servos in the wrist can't even pick it up. Anyway, that's beside the point. This looks really cool. So this is a regular intercessor. He doesn't look like he's in Gravis armor or anything, so it's not going to be a particularly large heavy flamer. So the intercessors are going to be able to carry the heavy flamer because they wouldn't do a kit for the flamer, heavy flamer, the 3 options of the flamers, and put them on intercessors, and then also Gravis. So this is a regular irregular intercessor body. I quite like it. I liked it when it came out for the Black Templars, and I like this one as well. I think it looks cool. And we've got some more flamer action in here as well, and I think there's another one. Yeah, there's still the 3rd one down there. So I think that's the same screenshot from earlier on. Right, now, I haven't zoomed in on this one yet. I took this screenshot because you could see the whole squad. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 in here. Let's zoom in and see if we can see who is who. Now, that's the flamer there. I think that's a flamer. That will probably be the combi flamer, if you remember when we zoomed in on the squad before. Can't see anything in particular on that one. That's the melter gun. And then there's not a lot on those ones either. So you can only really see the melter gun. You can see the melter gun because it's got the little cartridge on the top there. Now, what's that? That is elite. That's the elite symbol, isn't it? I think that's the elite symbol on their shoulder pad. So does that mean Vanguard veterans? Does that mean we're getting Vanguard veterans? Or Vanguard veteran versions in Primaris? That's interesting. In which case, Vanguard veterans can mix and match a lot of special weapons, can't they? So maybe the Vanguard veteran version, whatever that's going to be called in Primaris, something inter. Maybe they can get. Maybe that's the way that maybe that's the way Primaris can then get special weapons and things in their squads. Let's find out. Screamer Killer! Oh, I'm quite excited by the Screamer Killer. I think he's really cool. Now we've got the flamer action in here on the Screamer Killer again. He's got a tabard there as well. I'm not quite sure whether that's of any significance, whether that's just the sergeant, and a regular bolter in the background, and of course the Screamer Killer completely ignores all the flame and can only be killed by the Dreadnought. However, what's this? So that is the combi flamer. So you've got they've done it the same way as they have now done Azrael. So Azrael's combi weapon famously had the really weird cartridge, and they seem to have sorted that out now. So the combi part of the combi flamers of combi weapons now seem to be on the bottom, and then the bolter is on the top. And I've even screenshot it just as the bolt is on the way as well. So here is I think this is probably an auto bolt rifle because of the feed. I would imagine if it was a regular bolt, one of the three. There's an auto bolt rifle, a bolt rifle, and a stalker bolt rifle. I think that's right. So I imagine the stalker bolt rifle and the regular bolt rifle will have a cartridge coming out of the side, a magazine coming out of the side, rather than this auto cartridge on the top. And then you've got the flamer sitting underneath, and I think in fact there is there. You can see it there, the Promethean tank underneath there for the fuel for the flamer. However, yes, we're getting. Now, I can't remember. Mikey from Hellstorm Wargaming called this something. He called it like a Hell Dreadnought or something. I can't remember what it was called. I think it's referenced in Dawn of War. But for me, this is just like the classic box Dreadnought with the twin las cannon and the missile launcher, right? That's just what everybody used to have when in like 2nd and 3rd edition. I don't like Redemptor Dreadnoughts. However, I have reposed. I've got 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts, and I've reposed them, and I've managed to kind of tighten them all up a little bit because they end up with too much space around all their joints. So I've tightened them all up a little bit and made them look a bit more like the old classic box Dreadnought, which I really like. So I'm very excited to get my hands on this one and do all those little kind of you cut in at the shoulder, you cut in at the waist, and you angle out the legs, and you make it look like a classic box Dreadnought. Now, to make a new Redemptor look like a classic box Dreadnought, but with the las cannon and the missile launcher as well, is going to be very, very cool. I'm super excited about this. I think it looks cool. I think it looks so much better than having the weird elongated arm with a claw on it with the power fist. That's fab. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And straight away into the next new model. I mean, are these... That's the next thing. Are these all confirmed as like new models? I think they are. They're not going to put them in. I don't think they're going to put these in a trailer if they're not going to release them. One of the things that I've said for a long time is Games Workshop doesn't need like all these leaks, all these weird potato picture leaks. They don't need those to hype up the community, because we get people like me who go through trailers at like half speed to find everything. So I don't think they need those kind of things for the hype. So I think this sort of stuff is perfect for hyping up and getting everybody excited. So I think we are going to get a Gravis Apothecary. A Gravis Apothecary, I don't know what benefit that's going to have on the tabletop. I'll have a think about that before I do. I'm going to do a video about all the 10th edition rules that we know of at the moment and what they might mean going forwards. So in terms of this, he's obviously going to be a more survivable character. Maybe have more wounds and have a better save. Might be able to do a little bit more than just reviving one person, or maybe he's got more gear on him so he can revive people more efficiently, so he's got a more effective revive. Yeah, he's I do like the Gravis armor. The Gravis armor just looks cool anyway, so you can't fault them for making more Gravis characters. Yes, please give me all the Gravis characters. I want them all. So yes, I will grab this one. I'm sure I will need to add to my Dark Angels force as it is going to be growing quite rapidly. And I will probably grab another one and stick them in my Dark Pharaons as well. My Dark Pharaons still need a little bit of love. I can't ignore them completely. And the back shot here, if we zoom in, and we can see a little bit more of what's happening on the backpack. And then this here, the kind of bit that's plugged in, don't know what that is. I don't think the current one has something that's plugged in, unless it's because it has the arms that are coming over the top, but I don't think it has anything that plugs into the side, unless that's like a feed for the gene seed removal thing that he has in his arm. Either way, I've not seen that on the current one, so that's quite interesting. If you do know, if you're a marine aficionado and you have an idea of what that is, let me know. Obviously, he doesn't have it for long because a lictor comes out of these claws. Oh, look at the spines on these. Anyway, we're not looking at that. We're looking at the marines. Yeah, he doesn't last for long because a lictor comes out of the shadows and takes him out. Anyway, yeah, a cool little light as well. I might have to paint all the lights on mine as well. Oh, so much cool stuff to do. I don't think there's anything of interest here particularly. I included this picture in my Tyrannid breakdown, and thought I would just have a quick look and see if there was anything on the Space Marine side of things as well. I don't think there is. That I think is the claw from the lictor or another lictor, so I don't think that's anything coming out of the chest of the apothecary. I don't think it's like an extra arm or anything, or a little like servo arm. I don't think it's anything like that. That would be quite cool if he did have a little servo skull scurrying around with him. I do like servo skulls, they're awesome. The box Dreadnought. Thank you very much. I love how I don't know what it is. It's a much better proportion having the las cannon mounted on the shoulder rather than underslung. I think it's great. I think it's a great aesthetic. The one thing is the model is going to look very top heavy because obviously it's got everything up at the top on the shoulders, so it's going to look very top heavy. So I think my little adjusting, my little repose that I do on them is actually going to work quite well, where I kind of lower everything down and widen the stance a little bit. I think it's going to work quite well on this. Let me know if you want to see a video on how I do that. By the way, I do have a Brutalis Dreadnought which I need to build, so I will probably do my little tweaks on that one, and I will definitely do it on this one when I grab my hands on this. And again, it's the gun of the week, the highlight of the week. We have it. We have the Combi Flamer. That one looks like it's got a slightly smaller Promethean tank, or even missing. Doesn't the tank go there? Maybe he's run out. That's why he's firing his bolter. So that's, again, it's a Phobos Marine. Yeah, it's really cool that Phobos are going to get some flamers. Get them forward deploying and flaming things. Get up in people's faces. Yes! In the enemy's face. Back shot of the Redemptor. There's a cool little box dread. Hormigunt, I think that's a Hormigunt diving in towards him. Very, very cool. I do like it. Do we think, here's the question, do we think we're going to get that little teleport Homer? Are we going to get that? I think it would be really cool if in 10th edition you place that down like either the turn before or I don't know, in a phase before, like in the command phase, and then in the movement phase they come down, and there's like a little bit of manipulation. I don't know, but it would be really cool if that was a marker. If we got a little counter, a little teleport homer counter. And if they don't, I'm going to make one anyway. And before they land, I'm just going to put it down and say, right, Terminators are going to come there. Like, it's just like even if you're playing a game and it's just one thing to make you so that you don't forget that the Terminators are going to come in. I'm going to make a little counter or a marker, and I'm going to put it down at the beginning of the movement phase. Right, my Terminators are going to come down there. I've said it. I'm not going to forget. And then you do all your movement, and then at the end of the movement phase, which it might not be at the end of the movement phase in 10th edition, the reinforcement step, and then the Terminators come in and boom. Anyway. I'm getting carried away with myself. But yeah, are we going to get that? But let's fast forward to... This is a great shot. This, not so much. That looks more like the Ultramarine movie to me. So we're going to go back to this shot. Right. So we've got a unit of 3. So I think we can probably guess that Terminators are going to be in units of 3, hopefully 3 plus, or 3 to 5, or 3 to 8, or something like that. So you can have, like... Please don't, Games Workshop. Please don't just like have. Okay, you have your Terminators. You can have your like upscale Terminators, but you can only have them in units of 3. Don't do that. I want units of 10. Thank you very much. But I think we've got the 3 different but 3 different loadouts. We have the. Actually, thinking about this, we have the one that comes down with the assault cannon as well. So there's definitely 4 Terminators that land, because this one at the back here, I think that is the Librarian, because you can see his Force Axe here, which is really interesting. That's a really interesting weapon choice. And then we got 3 Stormbolters. This guy has a Power Fist. Please make Lightning Claws. We still need Lightning Claws. Twin Lightning Claw Terminators are some of the best models in 40k. So we have the Power Fist. We've got the Stormbolters. We've got 2 of them with Power Swords as well. Interestingly, this one has it in his left hand. Power Sword in his left hand. This one has it in his right hand. So nice little swap. I kind of want to say that these were less time was put into the rendering of these, purely because of things like that hand looks really square and just kind of stuck on. Anyway, it's a little bit cruel because it's still a goddamn good trailer, but I think this is unfortunately the weakest part, especially because Terminators are so cool. Anyway, so we've got Power Swords, we've got Stormbolters, we've got Power Fists, we've got the Assault Cannon, we've got a Power Axe, and on the Librarian, we also have a wrist-mounted Stormbolter, which is cool, a little bit more reminiscent of the Grey Knights, so that they can still dual-wield things. So that's quite cool. There's the Assault Cannon with the slow-mo firing mode is brilliant. I love that part of the trailer. Absolutely fantastic. And there is the Terminator Librarian. I love how all these runes kind of light up. Psychic energy. He's got his psychic hood on there as well. Yeah, Power Axe and a wrist-mounted Stormbolter down here. It's rather cool. Rather cool, that. I do like it. Yeah, he's fab. So we know Lionel Johnson is Charles Dance. Who's this guy? Because he looks a little bit like Father Christmas. He looks like Kurt Russell in Father Christmas. Anyway, oh dear. I'm sorry, I had to put this in. This is the best part of the trailer, or one of the best parts of the trailer, because you've got this grimdark universe that 40k is. Games Workshop are making this horrible. There is only war in the 41st millennium. Yes, this is a pint cup, pint glass with tea in it. But they've still got like a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek. Like, we're playing with toy soldiers. It's like, I love this. Anyway, yeah, Terminator, Purity Seal, the Crux Terminatus on his shin pad. Very, very Primaris-esque, Gravis armor-esque ab armor. So this kind of segmented ab armor, abdominal armor there. But another Dead Marine down here as well. Yeah, he's rather cool. But this is a back shot of the Terminator. So you've got the old classic vents, and definitely that underslung assault cannon, really really cool. A couple of plates on the rear, Really, really nice, chunky, round shoulder pads. So it's still the kind of classic, big, thick shoulder pads. Give some nice weight across the top. And actually, if you do go back to the Terminators, they do have. I need to find the actual models. But the actual models, if you have a look at the width of the top, really, really chunky, really good, really cool. Again, nice look at the librarian, all the runes powering up. It'd be really good if the model has all these runes sculpted on, so that you can just kind of when they're sculpted on, it's nice and easy to do a little bit of OSL and make them glow and everything. So you can run some white ink in there and make them glow up and add a bit of colour. So yeah, very, very cool. Destroying, I think this is a lictor, destroying a lictor with his little power axe. Ka-ching! Dead. Get out of here. Same again. The less said about this, the better, I think. He could have him in combat, right? Anyway. And this is a massive heavy bolter. Is this the? I don't know whether this is. I need to. What I should have done before the video. Actually, I should have pulled up and checked. Let me just do it now. I need to pull up and check. See if it is. Games Workshop. There it is. See if it's the same kind of pattern and same model as the current Space Marine heavy. Where are we? Armies of the Imperium Space Marines. There we go. So they came out a while ago, didn't they? The massive. They were the heavy intercessors with the heavy bolt rifle jobby things. But that doesn't look like a heavy intercessor to me. So are we going to get? Are we going to get these heavy bolters again? I'm hoping, because at the moment the intercessors. So if you think about the intercessor squad at the moment, you can have one of them can have a grenade launcher, like an underslung grenade launcher on their gun. So it's almost a combi weapon. So maybe if they do, I have no idea, by the way. This is all speculation. If they do like an upgrade sprue, an intercessor special weapon upgrade sprue, maybe that can expand the grenade launcher option. So one model in this unit can have an underslung grenade launcher, or a heavy bolter, or a so-and-so, etc., etc. Where are the models? They did come out, didn't they? I'm not just imagining it. There was like some heavy intercessors with... I'm sure there were heavy intercessors with like massive bolt rifles on them. Where are they? Heavy intercessors. So much stuff. I mean, Marines get so much stuff anyway. Do you think we'll ever get Primaris Vindicator? Can we have a massive new Impulsive Vindicator? I can't find them. They're not here. They are literally not there. Oh, wow. Well, they came with the Strike Force Augustus, didn't they? They did, yeah. Strike Force Augustus. So, and they were definitely heavy intercessors. So these aren't heavy intercessors. That's cool. It's like it's a barrel feed, drum fed. So it'd be like an auto heavy bolter stalker rifle. I'm just putting all the words together. Anyway, really, really good, really cool. Please, please, please give intercessors and Primaris more weapon options within units. Please, you don't need to keep making individual units for things. Games Workshop, add them into units. Intercessor squad with a heavy weapon. Intercessor squad with a special weapon. That's what you want to do. Let's go back to the old classic tactical squads. Now, the last thing. I'll have a zoom in here. We've got the combi flamer is down here. There's the Terminator. We've got one Terminator there. He just needs some lightning claws coming out of his fist. Another apothecary. He's got a white shoulder pad. Or he's got white trim on his shoulder pad and a red helmet. So maybe he's not an apothecary. But over on this side, we do have an ancient. So we do have a Primaris Ancient, which is rather cool. I believe that's a new model. I think the one that came out a while ago was a Blade Guard Ancient. So yeah, we're going to get a Primaris Ancient, which will be really, really nice. And then that looks like he's got white armor on. He looks like Phobos Apothecary. Is that a Phobos Apothecary? So we've already had the Gravis Apothecary, and obviously if we're going to have lots of Phobos stuff going around now as well, are we going to have a Phobos Apothecary? Sounds cool. If I was to have a Phobos Apothecary, I would still paint it all camo and then just give him a white shoulder pad, because he looks very shoot me. But there we go. That is all the marine stuff, I think, anyway. Yep, that is all the marine stuff that I noticed. Although this is... What is on his shoulder pad? Don't know what is on his shoulder pad. I think he's killed a Tyranid and put some carapace on his shoulder pad. Don't know what is on his shoulder pad. I would be interested to see if this guy's a special character or something. Like some named like Captain Lazarus for the Dark Angels. Be interested if this guy is like a special character for the Phobos. Yeah, I don't know what he's got on his shoulder pad. Anyway, there we go, everybody. That is everything I noticed with the in the Space Marines when I watched the trailer. I slowed it all down, tried to get as many screenshots as I could. There you go. Flamer intercessors, special weapon intercessors, heavy weapons intercessors, heavy weapon, flamer, just too much. And a box dreadnought. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Anyway, go and check out the Tyranid breakdown that I've just put up. So I've put that one up as well. And I'm also just about to record, as we're recording now. Once I've finished this one, I'm going to record all my thoughts on the rules that we found on 10th edition at the moment, and kind of speculate what some of those might mean as well. So I'm so excited. And this isn't even Necrons. It's not even Necrons, and I'm excited. All right. Thanks very much, everybody. Take care, and I will see you all later.